Good morning, good evening, everyone, wherever you guys are. I hope you guys are healthy and safe. We are here for our fifth top recruiter workshop, and would have not be better without having anyone else except Mr. Banu, uh, Associate Vice President at Conestoga College. He's here to walk us through and tell us amazing thing about Conestoga College. But if you don't know, that's where I studied back 2011. So Banu, thank you so much for taking the time today and giving us your time and going and explaining about Conestoga College. Really appreciate it for this.
Thank you, Mehdi, and good morning, good evening, friends. Again, what Mehdi said, I just hope and pray that you and your families are doing well. Stay inside, stay home. This shall pass, and we will be back to business pretty soon. Right? Um, I would also, at this moment, like to take an opportunity to thank each one of you for helping Canadian institutions around the world Canadian institution to gain a significant footprint around the world and become a preferred destination for higher education for your students. In the past 7-8 years, I have seen a significant increase in enrollments across Canadian institutes, and partners like ApplyBoard and of course yourself have played a vital role. I thank you for your efforts, and I also thank you for your trust in us. As Mehdi mentioned, my name is Banu, and I work at Conestoga College. I've been with the college for 11 years, and in total, I've been in the industry for 20 years. I have seen this growth in Canada firsthand and been a very proud member of the international education industry in Canada. Before I jump into talking a little bit about Conestoga and Waterloo region, I would like to highlight here that we have made at Conestoga, we have made a decision of offering some of our main take programs online. An email was sent to Apply Board yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that would be forwarded to all of you, right, today, most probably or tomorrow. And I would appreciate if you guys could take an appropriate action depending upon what your students would like to do. One good news is any student who is outside Canada and choose to do our program online in May, when they come and join us in a second semester, Conestoga College has offered $1,000 scholarship towards their second semester tuition fees. Again, this information is part of the email which we shared with ApplyBoard, and I'm pretty sure that soon you all would receive a copy of that email.
All right. Bono, I jump in quick few reminders for our amazing people. If you're new here, we're going to have a good amount of time for your question and answer questions at the end of the webinar. So please use the chat box of question, write your question down. If any question that you have, as Bono quickly mentioned, he's been in the industry for 20 years. He has amazing experience. I personally have learned so many things from Mr. Bono because of his experience. So please ask your question at the end of this webinar. We will send you the PowerPoint and the recording, so you don't need to take notes or anything. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the webinar. And like always, stick around till the end of the webinar because we will have a discount code for you guys that you would be able to take the advantage of application fee discount. So thank you so much on that. Thank you so much, Banu, on the explanation on this. I was super happy to see yesterday the email that you guys send us, and it's amazing how you guys can value international student and the $1,000 the scholarship that you guys offering, because that's you understand the challenges the students having outside of Canada now starting online. It is really great initiative that we should see from everywhere, all those schools to putting the students first. So I'm super, super happy as one of Conestoga alumni that Conestoga always put the students first. So without any ado, floor is back to you. Let's get into the Conestoga College
Perfect.
presentation.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for your good words, Mary. And I'm confident, and I hope that other schools also put something together, right, to help the international students in this tough time. So most of you might already know Conestoga College is located in Waterloo region in Ontario. We are an hour away from Toronto, and we are one of the fastest growing colleges in Canada, and we have the second highest graduation rate in the province. And speaking about graduation, we produce graduates who are able to raise 72 million US dollars for their startup in just a couple of years. Yes, I'm talking about ApplyBoard, right? One of the fastest growing startups here. And Meti and his brother Massey, as he mentioned, are Conestoga graduates. I'm very excited to be here today, right? I'm very glad and proud that they have built this platform where we are able to connect, explore, help, and grow. So congratulations, ApplyBoard, congratulations,
Thank you so
Meti.
much, Bono. It means a lot. Amazing. I love Conestoga College. Going back to 2011 when I started, 2014 when I graduated. It was an amazing time, and always you and your team were around. So it was always fun to be a little kid, just walk to the office and talk with you guys. So thank you so much for all those.
Perfect, perfect, and thanks for your trust. And you know what? That's one of the things which I wanted to say, that in the past 10 years, Conestoga has seen an exceptional growth with just under 100 students in 2009 to over 12,000 students today. And it is possible for, of course, because of partners like ApplyBoard and you all, but word of mouth, like how Meti is talking about Conestoga with so much pride, right? There are other students also who are superbly happy and successful, and happy and successful students are bringing more students to us. And that has made us, from just 100 students 10 years ago, to the largest college, international number wise, largest college out of GTA, Greater Toronto Area. We're the largest today. And I mean, I feel so proud about this accomplishment which the college has done. All right. So the first slide, what you see in front of you, just shows that what our full-time enrollment right now is 22,500 students. Besides that, we have around 43,000 students enrolled into our part-time programs. We have over 200 applied programs ranging from 1 to 2 years postgraduate program, 4-year bachelor's degree programs, and 2 to 3 years diplomas and advanced diplomas. We at Conestoga, we have the highest number of degree offerings than any college out of Greater Toronto Area. And we were the first college in Ontario which could offer a BE, Bachelor of Engineering. Prior to that, only universities in Canada could offer a BE, but Conestoga was the first one to do that. Now, a couple of other colleges in Canada offer them as well, but we were the pioneers in that. And that also tells you that what is our strength, right? Engineering, IT, these are our prime strength. But besides that, we also have great expertise in healthcare programs. We are into hospitality, into business, media, right? And all these programs have got co-op component to it as well. So approximately 62 plus programs have got co-op, where we combine a valuable paid experience with students' academic programs. So Waterloo region, where we are, is also known as the technology triangle of Canada. I have always believed that, or I know a lot of people in my life, and I'm sure you do as well, where people have not gone to a formal post-secondary institution for education. They have either studied online or had some kind of informal education. But today, I see those guys as business owners or working as vice presidents or senior directors in a lot of multinational companies. And so that makes me think that why would somebody go to study in a physical school? Why can't they do what these other people have done? And that may lead me to think that those people were successful because they surrounded themselves with the right people, they networked with the right kind of people, and they created an ecosystem around them that led them to success. Fortunately, Where Conestoga is located, we are providing your students with those opportunities ready-made. Conestoga College's industry relationships and involvement with the alumni and prospective employers is immaculate. In our region, you'll see in the next slide, we are home to over 1,500 technology companies, more than 1,500 technology companies, with 8 of Canada's largest technology companies. For example, Google Canada headquarters is only 15 minutes from our Waterloo campus. Our Waterloo campus is also our School of Information and Technology. Waterloo region has the 4th largest urban population in Canada, with average household income of $84,000 as compared to Canada's average of $78,000. 95% is the employment rate of Waterloo region, with 20% less cost of living in major cities in Ontario. Where we live, around 33% of people in Waterloo region were not born in Canada. And a few years ago, IBM did a study, and Waterloo region was one of the most intelligent communities in the world. So my take on this is, located in the technology triangle of Canada, 33% of people were not born in Canada who are living here. We are attracting brains. And this is the networking opportunities which Conestoga students get. And that's why we are among the top when it comes to employment rate. Here in the region, in next 2 years, we are expecting that we need around 22,000 technology professionals, and that's our strength, right? I hope things get fine very quickly around the world, and this plan continues to be on its path. So 22,000 just tech professionals, and when you talk about tech professionals, that follows with hospitality professionals, that follows with financial professionals and other professionals related to that. So the region where we are, it's just expanding and exploding with growth. In the next slide, you will see that the Waterloo region's industry sector is extremely vibrant. So not going very much in detail into this, just because I want to leave some time towards the end to take your questions and try to answer immediate questions you have in hand, right? But this presentation, of course, would be available to you after we are done here, so you can go through this. But you can see that almost every sector, there are 9 important sectors, right, which a student or like us as professionals are looking forward to. They are all here in Waterloo. And on the right hand side, you will have mentioned some of the major companies. These companies, some of these companies have got their headquarters in Waterloo regions, right? But all this provides that ecosystem for our students, that networking opportunities for our students that is needed to be successful, besides the environment and the education they experience at Conestoga College, right? These companies which I have mentioned, they also employ our students both at a co-op and after their graduation, post-graduation employment. Moving on to the next slide. One more. I'll show you a short video again here about why Conestoga.
Yeah, Banu, before you go, I actually want to jump in because I live in Waterloo and saying it. So if you guys heard Silicon Valley, right? Silicon Valley is in Silicon Valley. Everyone should know that. So people say Kitchener-Waterloo is north of Silicon Valley. We are becoming the Silicon Valley of Canada. And right now, there's so many amazing startups. We have seen so many good companies grown. And I think like it is truly because of amazing institutions such as Conestoga College, Waterloo, in this city, how much they focus on the industrial tech IT program, that the startups can feel confident that they can start their business here. So absolutely, Waterloo and Kitchener, it is a next up. I think people right now, we see people actually moving from Toronto, Mississauga to here and live here. I think Kitchener-Waterloo is 10 years from now would be a very different position now where we think. I think it would be a massive city, big population, and It's going to be a fully take off everyone. If you want to have a successful tech company, you should come to Kitchener-Waterloo. Sorry, I just wanted to add this because we know that.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to just share my personal experience. For 17 years, I lived in a different region. I used to drive an hour every morning to come to Conestoga and Kitchener. But 3 years ago, when my daughter was about to go to high school, my wife and I made this conscious decision that at that stage, we want to be in Waterloo region. We don't want to be where we were. Nothing wrong with that area. We lived 17 years. We've got family and friends there. But looking at an overall ecosystem, which our platform, which we can provide to our kids, we made this conscious decision to move here 3 years ago. So for the past 3 years now, I live in Waterloo region for the same reasons. So let's see that video.
Waterloo is a place for builders, for people who work hard to make something bigger and better than they could achieve alone. From automotive and advanced manufacturing to information and communications technology, we're not just innovating, we're inventing the future. Thousands of startups and multinational brands work shoulder to shoulder, creating what's next, together. Our world-renowned post-secondary schools produce successful founders and dedicated employees, driven forward by cutting-edge research centers, accelerators, the world's largest free incubator, and corporate innovation hubs. The breadth, depth, and quality of these resources form a strong and resilient ecosystem that offers unparalleled support. Wherever you look, you'll see passionate people who take creative risks, try new things, and do more of what they love because of where they live. This is a place where the best and the brightest come to make an impact. In Waterloo, things are changing fast. We're charting new territory, solving complex problems, and growing billion-dollar businesses. We are inventing the future.
Why Conestoga?
Perché Conestoga?
为什么选择康尼斯托加？
Perché Conestoga?
왜 Conestoga죠?
Conestoga Hikium. C'era Conestoga.
Kwa nini uchague Conestoga?
Chungu Conestoga College.
Tại sao lại lựa chọn Conestoga?
Perché Conestoga?
Success.
Opportunity,
Accreditation.
learning,
Education.
Experience.
dream.
Future.
What you do here.
What you do here
What you do here.
counts out there.
What you do here counts out there.
So you just saw, guys, and 89 countries represented on campus, over 12,000 international students, right? And this is possible, again, I mean, I cannot emphasize more. It is possible because of partners like yourself, and of course, the amazing work which the faculty and other staff members at Conestoga do. When I first started working in Conestoga in 2009, I was just trying to understand that what is so unique philosophically, right, about Conestoga, which keeps people drive so high, right? Why are people so motivated, and why do they want to do something different? And it's not, I was not looking at the academic programs they are offering, or the student services they have, or the gym they have, the classroom size, or the type of classroom they have. I was trying to find something deeper than that. And this is my, at that time in 2009, 3-4 months into working at the college, I figured out, and I'm like, you know what? This school is standing on 3 pillars, and I'm serious about it. They are actually standing on 3 pillars. It's student satisfaction, student leadership, and student success. And this philosophy helped us make ourselves a strong brand, both domestically and internationally. Of course, I've shared the numbers with you, like where we are internationally right now, but we are among very, very few Canadian colleges, right, who have seen a domestic growth. We have been never in the negative or flat in our domestic growth either. So domestic is growing along with international, right? Fortunately for us, for past 6-7 years, we just have seen a spike in the international growth. but our domestic enrollment has also gone up. And it's not just recruiting from the region. We have seen people coming to us from British Columbia, Alberta, right, and other regions of Ontario as well. So college has become extremely, extremely popular and a very strong brand. And I think it's standing on those three strong philosophies. I'm just going to move on to the next slide. And again, it's just my love for Conestoga, right? I really admire its forward-looking, active learning and collaborative approach. One of the things they do, you can see in this slide, right? And one of the things they do, like, so in the past 9 years, we have developed over 50 new programs. And how did this happen? 30 to 35% of our new program development committee or the existing program maintenance team comprises of leaders from the industry. They share with us what their R&D, what their research and development is telling them that what's in the future. And we develop or modify our programs to match the future needs of the industry, making our graduates job ready. And that's why we are among the top 5 in employment rate, number 2 in graduation rate. And I'm not sure whether you guys know this, but in Canada, domestic students can apply for a government loan. And for past 9 years, we have the lowest loan default ratio. And why is this? Because our students are getting jobs and they're able to pay that loan back to the government, right? I want to talk to you about our programs next, but before that, let me quickly show you a video.
Some of the greatest innovations of our time have started with a question. Questions help you explore. They lead you to the root of the problem and help you become a leader yourself. Questions can create a fresh start. They lead you to discover the right answers and rediscover yourself. Questions foster collaboration. They teach you to think using your mind as well as your hands and help you find the right answers for today and for tomorrow. Through active learning, you'll receive a career-focused education, gaining knowledge and skills for life. That's the Polytechnic advantage. At Conestoga, you'll find many pathways to success. Start from where you are now and go as far as your dreams, talent, and determination will take you. Conestoga College. What you do here counts out there.
You can see that I have listed our schools here. These are the various schools which Conestoga has. And I've also mentioned the programs, the amount of programs which we offer, just for your quick reference, right? I mean, there are approximately 180 programs mentioned here, which are open direct admission to international students, right? I would love to talk about each school in depth, but for that, I think we'll need the whole day. So I'm just going to quickly talk in general and just mention few points which I think very important for you all to know. As I mentioned that we have over 62 co-op programs. It's a very important component of studying in a college in Canada, where students get hands-on experience while they are in school. And there is a certain learning outcome which is designed for students to have during those co-op. And their co-ops are designed in such a way that they fall after a couple of semesters, so that whatever you've learned, you're able to practice, and then you come back for your next lesson, but you are at a higher platform now, just because it is not just classroom. You've seen what's actually happening in the real world and how it is applied to your education, right? So one of the things which I take a lot of pride in, not just the programs, but around the world, most of the students which are coming to us are from developing countries, right? Our numbers from UK or US or Australia are very, very low. But if you talk about Vietnam, for example, Philippines, India, Nigeria, Brazil, our numbers are pretty high. And in these countries, for some reason, our postgraduate programs became very, very popular. Right now, we have seen a huge growth into our diplomas and degrees as well. But there was a moment where we had a huge growth in our postgraduate programs, and they were becoming in huge demand. Canada's birth rate is low, So Canada needed people, and this post-graduation became that bridge that already educated and trained people in their home country come here, study for 1 or 2 years, and now they are job ready. So Conestoga offers around 55 postgraduate programs in almost every field except trades. So all the fields you see here, we have a good amount of postgraduate programs, right, for your students. We also offer, as I mentioned before, 15 bachelor degree program, and that is highest which any college is offering right now out of Greater Toronto area. And all the degree programs have got 8 to 12 months of co-op in it. We have over 100 diplomas and advanced diplomas besides the postgraduate and the degree programs. Now, the first school, Applied Computer Science and Engineering Technology, this is our strength. This is our flagship, right? We have 21 programs in that. 90% was the average placement rate in our School of Information Technology. That's huge. And recently, I would like to highlight, because we're getting a lot of queries for degree programs, we have introduced a new Bachelor of Computer Science honors degree. It's a 4-year bachelor's degree with 12 months of co-op. And this degree would focus mostly on big data analysis, cybersecurity, cloud computing, Internet of Things, and AI. And I think that's the future. So this degree is focusing on what the future demand would be. And with 3 co-op term, student can, what I tell the student, prospective student, whoever I have spoken to, that you take your time and try to experience different areas of specialization in these 3 terms, so that by the time you graduate from the program, you would have a very clear idea that what field you would like to make a career in. Next is our School of Business, right? We offer 36 programs, and there are 4 more programs sitting with the ministry right now to get approved, right? Last year, I just got the data yesterday, last year, the average starting salary of these programs was $45,000, which I don't think is a bad start for students who have just done a 2-year diploma or a 1-year postgrad program and starting at an average of $45,000, right? Extremely strong co-op programs, 3 degree programs, and 12 postgraduate programs ranging from 1 to 2 years. School of Community Services, here we have 12 programs with 2 bachelor's degree and 2 postgraduate program, and these programs see a very high employment rate, just like our engineering program, because there is a dearth of people in these fields. Not a lot of people traditionally choose these kind of programs, right? There was a time when liberal studies and community service was big. Now there was a huge gap, so there is again a gap in the people needed in the industry and what it's being produced. So again, high employment rate in those areas. Engineering and technology, that's again one of our strengths. We offer over 46 programs with 6 degree programs, which includes our Bachelor of Engineering as well. We have 17 postgraduate programs in our engineering and technology. Here, I would like to mention one of the most unique and popular program which has gained a lot of momentum in past couple of years is our food processing and packaging programs. We are the only college in Ontario which has a mini food processing plant on campus. So before joining Conestoga, when I used to buy a pack of cookies and I used to see in the packaging a little layer in the bottom, I thought the engineer was bored and he just made a design. But once I got oriented with this food processing and packaging program, there's a science behind it. And because we are the only one producing students in these areas, our employment rate is 100% in these programs. And for example, the packaging program, last year, the average starting salary was $52,000. And that's for a diploma. Just imagine, high school, 2-year diploma, $52,000. That's an average, right? So that's a high salary, right? Again, these programs are very, very popular. We have 5 programs, 2 at a diploma level in food processing and packaging, and 3 at a postgraduate level. Something I think you guys should explore, because a lot of students, when they come to you and they have a BSc in biology, a BSc in chemistry, and they have a dream of studying abroad, they can come here and study a master's in the related science field. But if they are able to do something like food processing or packaging and gain some technical skill, their employability becomes extremely high. Again, because engineering is our strength, our average employment rate is above 92%. And last year, the average starting salary was $48,000, right, in those 46 programs. School of Health, again, something we take a lot of pride in. We have 15 programs with 2 bachelor's degree and 3 postgraduate program, and 2, again, they are sitting with the ministry for an approval. And once those, I'm not able to tell you what programs those are, but trust me, once those programs are out, ApplyBoard will have to hire more admission people. This is going to be so popular. 2 of the programs which are extremely popular right now would be our PG in nursing, right? Especially students coming from Philippines, Vietnam, and India, Nigeria. In these 4 regions, these programs are extremely popular, right? And again, I would suggest that if you have students in those areas, these programs are open for international. Please apply as soon as you can, just because they get full very quickly. School of Hospitality, 11 programs with 2 postgraduate programs and above 90% employment rate. Excellent co-op opportunities. And our tourism diploma, 2 years. Tourism diploma, 2 years. 2 years ago, what we did, we made some partnership with some of the cruise companies, and there is a 2-week cruise option which the students can opt for, right? You have to pay some extra fees, but there's a learning outcome, and the cruise companies are aware of the learning outcome, and the students would put on job for those particular duties, so that when they come back, they are equipped with those kind of skills. So amazing opportunity. It cost approximately $3,000 for that week, 10-day program, right? To me, I just booked a cruise for, not just, I booked a cruise in December. For this December, hopefully we might be able to go. And I paid $8,000 for my wife and myself, right, US, to go on that cruise with our 2 kids for 5 days. So when I'm talking to the students who are currently studying in the program, I say, don't think about education. Just pay the 3,000 Canadian dollars and go for a cruise, right? If you gain something, good. If not, at least you had a cruise experience, right? And not just a cruise experience sitting in a room or just sitting by the pool, but actually behind the scene experience, right? How wonderful is that? Next is our liberal studies school. We have 3 programs, 1 postgraduate, and I would like to mention that program again from most countries where they have students coming from a Bachelor of Arts in history and communication and language and those kind of areas. The name of the program is Public Service. This program is suited for those kind of art graduate and very popular, especially among our Indian students, Vietnamese students, Filipino students, Brazilian student, Nigerian and Kenyan students. And I mean, this class is full of them. Again, apply early, guys, because we have limited international seats in these programs. Next is our School of Media and Design. 15 programs in that, with 3 postgraduate program and an awesome bachelor's in design degree. Very popular, with 8 months of co-op in it. And in that, we teach you not just to become a graphic designer, but also we give you managerial skills, how to manage graphical designers, right? So you could either be working as a graphical designer or managing them. In trades, we have 19 programs ranging from 1 to 2 year. All of them are at a post-secondary level, so certificate and diplomas. Very popular, almost 100% placement rate. Most international students have realized who aspire to immigrate to Canada, they know that these trade programs have got good career opportunities and they have an opportunity to make a lot of money, right? So a lot of students either from their home country choose that program, or once they are here, right, and they get to know about them, they try to switch into these programs. So if you have students who are interested into trades, I would encourage, please apply as soon as possible, right? People who have been working with Conestoga already through ApplyBoard, they know that how quickly our programs get full, right? And people who are new, right, if you don't take my word seriously, I'm pretty sure you would realize it, that this guy was not kidding. right? And these programs do get full very quickly. Right. Again, as I mentioned before, that I would love to talk about each school in more details and give you some more information, but lack of time, right? So, but I can assure you one thing, that we have spent numerous hours with ApplyBoard marketing and admission team. They know almost everything. I mean, they can have my job, right? They can they would be a huge support to you, and I'm sure that if they have any questions, they would reach out to us, right, for the right answer. But I'm sure that that would not be the case. They are very well equipped. So talking in general, to get into our diploma, I'll talk about the language requirement first. To get into our diploma or advanced diploma or 1-year certificate, post-secondary certificate programs, you need a 6 in IELTS and no band less than 5.5. For postgraduate and degree programs, we need 6.5 in IELTS, no band less than 6. We accept other tests like TOEFL, PTE, and recently Duolingo as well. And all the requirements are mentioned on our respective program pages. But again, you don't have to dig for things. Just shoot an email to the ApplyBoard admission team, and they would be more than happy to provide that. I would like to mention the Duolingo Score, just because students are not able to do IELTS and other tests, they are able to access Duolingo. So for our diplomas and advanced diploma, we are looking at 105, and for our degree and our postgraduate program, we are looking at 115. So 105 for diplomas and 115 for our degree and our postgraduate programs. Our tuition fees for our diplomas and advanced diploma is 12,500 Canadian dollars for the academic year. Our postgraduate fees is $13,000, and our degrees are $13,800. This is only the tuition fees. There will be ancillary and medical insurance on top of that, like any other Canadian institute, and that's in the range of $3,000. I'll move to the next slide. So I'm sure most of you are aware that the Ontario government has allowed public-private partnership, right? So that means that a public college can deliver its program in a different location than what they are originally at. So like Toronto, for example, with a partnership with a private school. Conestoga does not have any partnerships, and Conestoga does not intend to do such deliveries. We believe in ourselves, and we will deliver it ourselves. Currently, we have our own 9 campuses and training centers, and more to come in future. We would have made a huge announcement in 4 months, but with what's going on now, I'm not too sure whether it's going to happen this year or early next year, but there were 2 more major campuses coming for Conestoga College. Out of the list here, you can see we have Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, Guelph, Brantford, Ingersoll, and Stratford. Your students, 90% of your students would be coming to our 2 Kitchener campuses, Cambridge campus, Waterloo, Guelph, and Brantford, right? In the next slide, I have a virtual tour of our various campuses, which I would not get into here right now. You will be provided with the links, and at your leisure time, please go through the virtual tour, and you can see pretty much the entire college and all our labs and everything. Move on to the next slide. So these are various services we have for our international and domestic students, right? We are here for your students and to provide them the best possible support. Connecting life and learning. So whenever you see a Conestoga logo, underneath you will see connecting life and learning. It's not just a tagline, but a philosophy we live by. Right from when your students apply at Conestoga till the time they graduate and find a job, we walk every step with them, right? With services like airport pickup, housing, orientation, immigration support, academic support, co-op and job placement, to personal and cultural help. We have it all, and no services overlap. Professional individuals are responsible and proudly help our students with each service, right? I didn't know that I would be going for this long. I just realized that we've got approximately 10 minutes. So I'm not going to talk too much about the services right now, which I'm sure that we'll have an opportunity to talk about them. These are the various social media platforms which I would appreciate if you guys could connect to us through, right? And in the end, I would just like to, thank everyone for your time today. I look forward to working closely with you through ApplyBoard and welcoming you students at Conestoga College and help change lives. Thank you again. I hope I earned the privilege of your time. I'll leave the floor open for questions now.
Thank you so much, Banu. It's so interesting, though. I'm just sitting here and I'm getting a lot of messages in my WhatsApp. Meti, you're so smiling. You truly love Conestoga. I'm like, obviously, I studied there. I loved it, and it happened very interesting. I'm not gonna tell the story of how that happened, but I never ever would have been, I think, happier if I would have studied anywhere else. So being there, leaving Kitchener-Waterloo, right now my house actually is like 5-minute drive to campus, and seeing Conestoga how much they have grown, but not just grown, put and pay back to the students. Sometimes I walk in the campus and I see the brand new campus, totally new campus. So kudos to Conestoga, kudos to you, because I know you're frontliner for international students. You've always been in the labs since 2009 that you have joined. I know you put your best effort, and you never be shy of saying this is the best for students. So really appreciate it, really appreciate the time. And I'll go to the question and start the questions from people. So first, do you guys accept backlog?
Absolutely, yes. So there is no limit to backlogs. I had numerous conversations with the visa officers, mostly in South Asia, where this question was raised, and no one was able to give me a very clear yes or no. And so Conestoga, for past few years, we have not paid too much attention to the backlogs. We have paid a lot of attention to the overall academic result. So for most of our postgraduate programs, we accept a B average. So you might have 5, 10, 12 backlogs, but in the end, if your transcript as an overall average is showing B or higher, your students would be accepted.
Thank you so much. Banu, do you want to quickly touch base on some programs did defer to September, some programs went online. Also, there is a question, is September intake is still on?
So September intake right now is still on, and we have a lot of programs which was offered, and I can share that information with you, Meti, and you can send it to all the participants today. There was a lot of programs which were being offered in May, which are going online. Students have an option of studying it online, or they can defer it to September. Any student who decides to defer it to September, I would encourage you to please let ApplyBoard know, so that they can communicate with the respective admission officer of that program, and we can allot a slot for your student in September. Rest assured that every student who has been accepted for May, and if they decide to move to September, every one of them will receive an LOA for September. Again, please leave it up to the students. Most of the students who have come back to us, they have indicated that they would be interested in doing the program online.
Thank you so much. The next question, how much of age gap is acceptable for students to apply for Conestoga College?
I know this thing is recorded and I have to be very careful. We, as a college, we cannot discriminate how old you are, right? So will I say no to a student who is 29 years old? No, right? Because I mean, we are an educational institute, and as ApplyBoard says, that is not a privilege, it's a right, right? So we will not say no. But my experience tells me that older you get, it becomes a little harder to explain why you want to leave your country at this time, this stage of your life, and come to study in Canada, right? So if you are applying for students who have a lot of gap, or a student who have who are mature, 29, 30 plus, right? Just look at the file a little bit more carefully. As a school, we will not say no, but as you have to apply for a visa, and there are so many other things involved, right? I would encourage you to just pay attention to those kind of details, whether you are able to secure the student with the visa.
Thank you so much. I think the next question, again, I'm asking you based on your experience to answer. We're not RCIC, so we cannot ask. If the student do 2 years of PG back to back, how many do they get the 3 years work permit? I think we all know the answer, but I led you to, with the experience, what's seen answer.
So yes, what I have experienced so far, students doing 2 one-year postgraduate programs, they are eligible for up to 3 years of work permit.
If the student has O-level, do they need to have IELTS? Do you guys accept O-level as just direct entry or not?
So it depends. I mean, if the question is related to IELTS, it depends where the student is coming from. If the student is coming from an English-speaking country like Nigeria or Kenya, we will not need an IELTS. But if a student is coming from, say, India, or they're coming from Vietnam, Philippines, China, those kind of countries, irrespective of what they have studied, if the education has been completed in their home country, we will require an IELTS or any other equivalent language testing.
Awesome. Can you explain about deadlines? As September intake got closed, depending on the present situation, can intake be extended?
A deadline for what? Paying the fees?
I think it's more of like actually deadline to apply. Conestoga doesn't have a certain deadline for any program to apply. You guys go based on when it gets full is full. But
yes.
Can you, the second part of the question is, based on the situation, do you anticipate maybe some programs get back on and be open for fall?
Yeah, so I'll answer this question in 2 parts. First, the students who have already applied, and if they were waiting and the admission was either conditional based on IELTS or their final year mark sheet or high school results, all those would be extended. Don't have to worry about that. Students who were supposed to pay a $1,500 deposit, or they were due with their first semester or first year tuition fees, again, all those would be extended. No worries about that. As far as opening the program is concerned, we are now concentrating first on our May intake. So please give me at least 3 weeks, because in 3 weeks we will have an idea that how many students from May are differing to September. These students who have applied to us in May have shown their commitment to us, and it is our responsibility to honor that. So we would first take these students and see how much seats we are left with, number one. Number two, I know that Conestoga is working in the background for having additional space to accommodate the May students and still going strong with the September intake. So again, in next 3 to 4 weeks, the picture would be very, very clear. And of course, ApplyBoard would be among the first ones to know when the programs are opening or if we have more seats available, and it will be communicated to all of you.
Thank you so much, Bono. In fact, our website is with the Conestoga College very pretty much aligned. So whenever you guys open a program, I think it's matter of couple, like maximum 2 or 3 hours that our website be reflected. So as Bono said, always check it. Conestoga always has few programs super, for example, your construction management, correct me if I'm wrong, it was one of the only schools that had 2 years construction management in the last few years. I don't know if other people, there are programs that I don't even think the students can apply for January as of now because it's super popular, but there are programs that come and get more seats depend on it. But the sooner you apply, obviously, is always the best. Having acceptance there for your students in hand is the kind of guarantee at the first stage.
Right.
I'm going through the question that was not answered. Can you please explain a little bit about PG program at Conestoga eligible for PSW? I don't know. I don't know the answers of that. I don't know if I understand the question, but do you understand the question? Because I don't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean,
Yes,
Madusar. Yeah, I don't know what maybe personal worker, what is eligible? Sorry, should have not even asked that question.
maybe they mean the postgraduate work permit. I mean, if that's the question, then every program offered at Conestoga College, students are eligible for a postgraduate work permit. The length of the work permit would depend upon the length of the program they have done at the college.
Thank you. Bono, can you quickly say what is co-op? Because a lot of people might not know, and Conestoga is really amazing on providing co-ops for their students.
So in co-op is the work term. In some countries, it is called internship. In Canada, there are two things, co-op and internship. Internship generally is not paid, but co-ops are paid. And co-op term ranges from anywhere to from 4 months to 16 months, depending upon the program. Some of our advanced diploma programs like electronics, computer, software engineering, they have 16 months of co-ops. In that, what happens is that student would study, depending upon the program, 1 year or 2 year, and then we would help them find a job placement in the industry. There would be certain duties which we expect the student to perform during those jobs. Students work in the company as employees, they are paid, and then they return back to the class, right, and continue with their education. While they are working full time, and at that time there is no school. So it's a paid work term during your program.
And it gives the student amazing experience that after a lot of those workplaces they work, they can get full-time job. I've seen this trend.
Yeah, so my experience, around 60-65% of Conestoga students end up working full-time at the place where they have done co-op. And somebody was asking me, so what happens to the other 30-35%, right? Those students sometimes use their co-op opportunity to get their feet wet and try a field. Like I was talking about the computer degree program. So they specialize in cybersecurity, AI, and big data. So there are 3 work terms. So student might want to experience all these 3 areas during the co-op term and then end up working for Google, for example, right? So, but they use this opportunity to get their feet wet and just to understand what the industry is all about. The classroom can only go so far.
Thank you. Bono, do you guys have accommodation, on-campus accommodation?
Yes, that was one of the things which I wanted to cover in our in my services part, but due to time I shortened it. But I'm glad somebody asked. So we have housing coordinators at the college, and once your students seek help in getting an accommodation, we give them 4 options. The student can stay on campus. The students can rent a room. Student can rent an apartment, or student can stay with a Canadian family as a homestay. Right, so we give all 4 options. So in short, yes, we have on-campus housing, very popular with international students, but besides that, we also have the other 3 off-campus support, which our housing coordinators help our students with.
Bono, you mentioned this in one of the question. A student says, because one of our partners says the students cannot get loan, is the deadline on tuition fees extended? I heard that you said it. I just want to make sure that you kind of emphasize on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a blanket extension, so you don't have to worry about it. And if at all you have a slight doubt that it is not properly communicated or I am not aware, please let ApplyBoard know about your students, and they will communicate with us, and we can have it reflected on their offer and issue a new letter, or we can mention it on the portal so the student can see there as well that the deadline has been extended. Please do not worry about these little operational things. We all understand that everybody is going through a tough time, and there are many countries where the lockdown keep on increasing, right? And we are here to help and support. And as Mehdi had mentioned earlier, it's not about the money, right? Money is a secondary thing right now. It's about making sure the student feel confident in this tough time.
Thank you so much, Banu. Really appreciate it. Taking the time this morning with us, going through the presentation. Guys, the code was there. Go ApplyBoard and you can get 50% application fee discount. The program that they are offering for May are open in ApplyBoard website. So if you do have a new student that wants to take advantage of that $1,000 scholarship and they're not in Canada, feel free to apply. They are open in our website. Banu, you want to say something?
Yes, I want to say something that anybody, if you are applying for the May program and they are outside Canada, or they could be inside Canada as well and they can still apply, we will waive the application fees. So 0 application fees for any new students applying for May, whether they are in Canada or outside Canada. If they are applying for our online programs, we will not charge the $100 which Conestoga charges.
We'll make that changes in our website immediately. So guys, if the student is a new student with a valid visa in their hand that they're studying May, not only they get a waive application fee, but also they get $1,000. As Bahanu says, I'm so happy to see that initiative by Conestoga College. If the student is applying for September or January, use the code for 50% discount. And once again, thank you so much wherever you guys are. I hope you have a blessing day, and wherever you guys are, if it's day, is it night, thank you so much for attending. Really appreciated Banu for taking us time and talking about Conestoga College. It was amazing, fresh air for me. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay at home, and we shall fight it and get over it. And pretty soon, I hope that I would be on the plane again and meet you guys in your home country. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.